and I'm Leo. Welcome back.
And we're here today to add another pose to our pose directory, Ardha Baddha Padma Paschimottanasana. And we've been asked to film this from some of our students who find it really challenging.
And it's not only the students who find this pose challenging, I have to say. My hips are not all that flexible, as I've said before, so this is a challenging pose for me to do.
Okay, so
Lin, however, you'll see in a moment, doesn't have such issues now. You know, these things get better with time. You have to just keep on practicing and don't yank your knees around in any of these poses. You have to be careful.
Very important, and this will happen, this will help gradually over time when you do lots and lots of standing poses and you start to get that agility in your hips. Then these poses are a little bit more possible. So when you bend the leg out to the side, it comes and links from that Janu Shirshasana action. So if you've seen that clip, then do have a look at it. If you find this is a little bit too challenging, go back to the previous pose. When you come into the half Padmasana actions, you need to see that you're getting full rotation in the hip. So you take hold of the outer shin, you try to keep this leg down, so there's lots of length going on here, and you bring the leg over towards the top of the straight leg. Now here's the challenge. You have to see that you keep absolutely strong, straight in the spine. You take the arm round and you catch the foot. You see I'm turning with that action, but then I have to see that I broaden across those back muscles and lengthen and keep that action nice and straight, extended. Then coming forward, so you've got to see as we come forward, you never lead with your belly. The standing leg, which is the straight leg, has got to push down very strongly. So even though we're in a seated position, we have to treat this as our stability. Coming into the action, looking forward, and then extending.
And you've got to see, where we were talking about Janu Shirshasana, is that you've got to try to even the weight across the buttocks, but also in the back itself as well. So much work to be done in this action.
And then coming up and extending up. Alright, so we're going to show you different ways of coming into this pose now.
We're going to show on my left side first. This is my difficult side, so not very flexible on this side. Some of you will be fine, you'll be able to get into it the way that Lin has without any issues.
Okay, so when you come for this action, again, it may be that you come to Janu Shirshasana before Ardha Baddha Padma, because this is more convenient for you to practice. But if you want to just go that little step further and come towards a pose, then you need a little bit of support to lift that leg up. You can see here Leo's taking the leg up, and it's really difficult for her to get that downward action, as I was showing you in the previous stage. So what we do here is to get two blankets. You can use a brick and a blanket, but I think the two blankets work really nicely because they give you a really fat support, and that's what you need. You think, oh my goodness me, surely not that big, but yes, this bit. It needs to come between the thighs like this, and you can see here that it needs to be actually the level of the thigh. So I know that
Put my leg down so you can see.
Yeah, so it needs to be in line because this is now your floor. Do you see? So this is now your floor, so you need to have it this high. I know that everybody wants to push it down so much, but actually this is your floor level now. If that leg is not going down onto the floor, then you need to bring it up onto your new floor. Okay, and then bring your leg up. And see if you can take it a little bit further. All the time, Leo's rotating the calf towards the shin, and that is an art. You have to see that you get that action. And then see if you can come into this action with the leg supported. Now, when it's supported in this way, you just have to really encourage this, and over time it improves. Over time it improves. So to come into the catching action, which we're going to do now,
I've got long arms, but I can't reach to them.
Yeah, I know. It's quite helpful if you use a belt so that you can reach back. Yeah. Now, see what I was explaining, that you turn to catch the foot. And when you're in this position, you've then got to see that you rotate, but you broaden across the back muscles. And what I mean by that is you have to really take your focus into your back so that the muscles are extending from the spine to the outer edges. You can see here, Leo is really nice and straight and lifting the chest. And then you have to see if you can come forward. Without coming forward with the belly's got to go back so much. Yeah, even more so. So you've got to see that as you extend, yes, you've got to keep that action and then reach for the foot. Good. And then extend it. And at this stage, you might want to have a bolster across your leg. If you've got a yoga bolster, and just rest your head onto it rather than dangling. And then you can be in it for the 1 minute or the 5 minute challenge. So if you're coming for short stays, 1 minute, fine. If you're coming for longer stays, then 5 minutes you need to support this head. So have the head supported onto your bolster or something like that, and then coming up. So it may be that you come to the very first stage of just sitting and learning to work with that leg in that Ardha Baddha Padma action, and then slowly releasing the leg down.
You can't force these actions. You know, it takes time for them to open up, and as Lynn said earlier, more standing poses will really help with the hip opening. But, you know, if you've got stiffness in your hips, it takes time to work on it.
Yeah, it's all in good time. But consistency, please. Those of you who are watching, be consistent with your practice. Just do a little bit every day. Bring it into your life. And quite often, you have to kind of bring that mindset of softening in the mind, so trying to release some of that stress and just sitting every now and again and just completely clearing the mind, and this will release some of the tension in your body. Alright, so we come to the other side. I know it's a big squodgy sausage and it's massive. It's a real good bolster. And then, as you can see, Leo is taking the leg up and rotating. Now. And it just takes time with this action. I think this is one of the nicest supports. There's lots of different ways of practicing this, and we've chosen to have the support underneath the shin, but it's so supportive that you can actually be in the action, which is really nice. So if you're continuing past this stage, then, and you need a belt, then grab your belt to place it, and then reach in for the belt and lifting up, and you can see just turning towards that bent leg is really quite nice. Because actually when you turn to straighten to face the front leg, you have to see that this is fairly sober, it's staying where it is, but you've got to reach the muscles towards the bent leg thigh. You've got to rotate them round and turn from the base of the spine all the way up, and then lifting your sternum chest. It's a really important instruction. And then coming forward, remember what I said about the belly, you've got to see that the lower abdomen draws towards the spine, and then you extend forward. You can see I can go a little bit more forward on this side. And then, but you mustn't forget this action that starts from the base, and I want to show you this. And that is, you have to see that the balance is on the buttocks, both buttocks. And from the bent leg, side of the sacrum, you've got to see those muscle fibers are moving towards that thigh. It's challenging. And this has got to happen, yes. And then you've got to weight the spine. So I'm not pushing on Leo's back, but I'm just putting my hand here so that actually she realises that she needs to use the spine as a weight. So it's the spine that goes down and creates that stability in the action. And like I said before, on the other side, if it's really difficult to get your head down, then use something to support your head. You can put a brick in to the one side or the other of the leg, or a bolster across it, and this really will help you with the long stays. The 5-minute stays are quite challenging if you haven't got a support, and you can just slowly release. and make sure that actually within your body you're still maintaining those preparational stages. If you're just in a seated position, then don't worry, it will come. Give yourself a year as a target. Might even be longer than that. And then Leo's enjoying this now. And then coming out of the pose. So again, you know, do stay in the pose if you're going for the longer timings, and you can put your little timer on for that. And finishing off in Dandasana, just slowly unfolding the legs.
So when you come out, do support the outer ankle, don't just let it flop out of the pose.
No, and if you're stiff, I know that you would go slowly anyway, so just be mindful to go in and out of the pose with care and attention.
Absolutely.
Okay, so join us with the cross leg position. Hope you've enjoyed our video today. And if you like our videos, then please press the like button, which is probably just down in front of you.
And join us for the next one in this particular yoga challenge, which is yoga for hips.
Yes.
Okay, we'll see you soon. Namaste.
Namaste.